Achievements made easy. Lag walkthroughs. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Bonky Cook here, back with another achievement walkthrough. As you can see from the screen here, we're covering the game Love. This is the first version of the game. I know a second one has been released, but as I was going through this game, I realized no one has done a step-by-step walkthrough for it, so I did. This is a triple stack. There are 3 versions of the game, an Xbox One, an Xbox Series, and a Windows version. Published by Zytalon and developed by Lovik Sama, it initially released on the 25th of March of 2025. Each version is purchasable for $4.99, and there is a bundle of all 3 for $9.99. Um, and there's 2000G per version as of this release. But as I've said, I've gone through and made a step-by-step walkthrough of every level, so I would assume any achievements that come out would be covered by this regardless of what they add, but I suppose they could add something that wasn't in the game. Um, Having said that, the 2000G is probably going to take you around 40 to 50 minutes. We're going to go through each level. I'm going to give you the instructions for each level step by step, and then you'll have your 2000G. This is a puzzle game where there are 2 hearts in kind of a maze that are attracted to each other, and you have to move the blocks around the layout so that the hearts can reach each other. So I'm going to just pop into level 1 here. You're going to pop your first achievement, Learner 1, for reading the first tutorial, and then you'll see the hearts kind of move to each other here. The idea is to move these blocks around and so the hearts can get through the gaps and get to each other, and that's how you solve each level. I have attempted to do step-by-step solutions for every level without needing any very quick swaps, but there are a few levels where you do have to be quick, and I've made note of those when we get to them. So unless I specify, though, take it slow. I will be slow, which is why this video runs for 40 to 50 minutes. If you would prefer to do it on your own, there is a text walkthrough on my website, and I'll link to that in the description. Um, and I didn't make the best solution for every level. Generally speaking, my solutions are around the par amount of moves for each level, but I was just trying to solve the level in a rather reasonable fashion, so I didn't try to get the best solution on every level. Feel free to use my walkthrough and build on it. Just give me credit if you do use it. Really appreciate that. So I'm going to be detailing the solutions as follows. On my website, I've built grids that number each of the blocks. So in this case, on this level, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's the kind of labeling system I use top to bottom, left to right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to tell you, say, to swap 4 left into 3 or 2 left into 1, 4 up into 2, etc. Um, the blocks will always be the quadrant they are in. So this is quadrant run. Even if I move the pink heart over to here and move this block over to here, this is still going to be quadrant 1. And that's basically the basics here. So before you do anything, hit restart. That'll pop you the second chance achievement for 100G, and then we're going to solve the puzzle. Again, always make sure that the hearts settle unless I tell you otherwise. So we're going to move 4 left into 2. You see that the quadrant 4 got highlighted there. You're going to hold A on the block and then hold it and move the cursor to where you want to move the block. So we'll move it over to, to 2 here. And then we're going to move 2 left to 1. And now the hearts will meet. I think I misspoke there and said we'd moving it into 3, and I apologize for that. But if I did tell you the wrong thing, just restart and try again. So that will pop 4 achievements in total, and you should be at 305 out of 2000G. And we'll move on to level 2. Again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I am going to do that on every level, and I am going to narrate every level, so if you'd prefer to not hear my voice, you can just mute the rest of the video and watch what I do. So we're going to move 3 right to 4, 4 up to 2, 2 left to 1, 2 down to 4, 1 down to 3, and 3 right to 4. The hearts will meet. That will pop 2 achievements. The slow but steady achievement, which is for finishing a level in more moves than the required or estimated amount. And then the achievement for finishing level 2. And we'll move on to level 3. Again, you have a tutorial here, Learner 2. This just introduces the pink square, which means absolutely nothing. We just get an achievement for finishing in the pink square, and we're going to knock that out on this level. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to move 3 right to 4, and once the hearts settle, move 4 up to 2. The hearts will meet in the pink space. That'll unlock the pink achievement and the complete level 3 achievement, and we'll move on to level 4. And there's just a random difficulty spike here, and you now have 20 moves to finish this level. So we're going to number the blocks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to move block 2 left to 1, move 1 down to 4. Once the blue heart settles, move 4 back up to 1, and move 2 right to 3. Move 3 down to 6, wait for them to settle, then move 5 left to 4, and 1 right to 2, and then move 4 up to 1. Move 3 down to 6, move 6 left to 5, move 5 left to 4, move 1 right to 2, move 2 down to 5, move 4 up to 1, move 1 right to 2, move 2 right to 3, move 6 left to 5, 5 up to 2, 3 down to 6, and 6 left to 5, and that will solve the level. You'll get the complete level 4 achievement, and we'll move on to level 5. Level 5 introduces the red blocks that cannot be moved. So in my notations, I don't number them because we can't move them. So the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is a very easy puzzle, though. So that pops the Learner 3 achievement for the third tutorial. We're going to move 1 down to 3, then 3 right to 4, 4 right to 5, and 5 up to 2. That will solve level 5, and you'll pop the complete level 5 achievement, and we'll move on to level 6. And this is the first level that kind of has uneven squares here. So in my notations, I've built a 3x3 grid on my website, and just like this square is blocked, this square is blocked. But for numbering purposes, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. First move 6 left to 5, and then 5 up to 3. And we do have to be relatively quick with these next 2 steps. We're going to move 1 right to 2, and then 2 down to 4. So don't wait too long or you won't be able to solve the puzzle, but you don't have to be super quick here. If you wait too long, the blue heart gets too far over and you won't be able to finish the level. That pops the achievement for completing level 6, and we'll move on to level 7, which introduces spikes. So you'll pop the Learner 4 achievement once you skip through the tutorial. And you won't have to worry about the spikes. I'm going to be telling you exactly how to get around them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to move 4 down to 6. And then we're going to move 2 down to 5, and the hearts will find each other. That'll complete level 7 and pop that achievement, and we'll move on to level 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to move 5 to 6, and 6 up to 3. And then we're going to move 7 left to 6, and that will group our hearts together and complete level 8, and we'll move on to level 9. Well, you're going to get another tutorial and pop the Learner 5 achievement, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First move 2 down to 5, then wait for the black heart to settle. The black heart kills you if it hits any of your hearts and it's attracted to your heart. So we have to keep it away from our hearts. Move 4 up to 1, then move 1 right to 2, and 2 right to 3, and your hearts will meet and solve the level, popping the complete level 9 achievement, and we'll move on to level 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This one is very simple. We're going to move 4 left to 3, wait for the blue heart to settle, and then move 5 right to 6. The hearts will meet. It'll be under the par amount of moves, so you'll pop the exceeding expectations achievement, for completing a level in less than the par moves, and you'll also get the achievement for completing level 10. And now we get level 11, which is one of the worst wrinkles in the game. You're going to pop the level or learner 6 achievement for the 6th and final tutorial. But we need to move these blocks. So move 3 left to 2 and 2 left to 1. And you'll notice all these yellow blocks are here. The problem is sometimes hitting these blocks takes down all of them, and sometimes it doesn't. I can't tell you specific blocks to hit because they don't always follow the same rules. So I was trying to figure it out so I could give you a step-by-step example, but I can't. Generally speaking, just come down here and start hitting A on the blocks until they drop so your hearts can reach each other. There are a couple of levels where you have to be specific in which blocks you drop or which blocks you leave up. And I will be detailing those steps when we get to them. But for now, you're not going to have another situation where there's like 10 blocks put together like that. So you don't have to worry about that too much. Just hit A on the blocks until your hearts can get through there. And once we get to the more complex levels, we'll worry about that. So that'll pop the complete level 11 achievement, and that's the last random achievement in the game. Every other achievement is for completing the remaining levels, so I won't be talking about those achievements popping from now on. We'll move on to level 12. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So move 4 up to 1. Go down into the bottom right of block 1 and open the block or barricade so that your heart can get through. Then go into the upper left of block 5 and open the top barricade so that your heart is on top of it. Do be careful about selecting blocks near the barricade because it can trigger them. So you're going to notice that in blocks that have the barricades, I tend to grab them away from the barricades. That's something you should be aware of for the rest of the playthrough. When you have your blue heart on top of the lowered barricade, move 5 up to 3 and your hearts will meet. And that will finish level 12, and we'll move on to 13. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to move 4 left to 3, then 3 up to 1, then 1 right to 2, then 2 left to 1, and 2 down to 4. That will finish level 13, and we'll move on to level 14. Okay, so on level 14, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to move 5 up to 3, 4 up to 2. We do have to be relatively quick on the next two steps. We're going to move 6 up to 4 and 4 left to 3. Not too quick, though, so don't stress about it. You should finish with the hearts in this position right here. We're going to move 4 up to 2, then 5 up to 3, 3 up to 1, and 1 right to 2. Once the heart settles, do 2 down to 4, 1 down to 3, do 6 up to 4, wait for the hearts to settle, and move 4 back down to 6. Then move 4 up to 2. Wait for the hearts to settle, move 6 to 5, 6 left to 5. And then move 4 left to 3, and the hearts will meet. And that finishes level 14. We'll move on to 15. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to move 1 right to 2, 5 up to 3, 3 left to 2, 3 down to 5. Wait for the hearts to settle and move 5 back up to 3. Once they settle, move 3 left to 2. And then once they settle, move 4 left to 3. Then move 6 up to 5. Move 4 left to 3. Move 3 down to 5. Move 5 down to 6. Move 3 down to 5. Move 4 left to 3. Move 5 up to 3. And 3 left to 2. And 2 left to 1. Now move 6 up to 5. And then 5 up to 3. Wait for the hearts to settle, and you're going to move 3 left to 2. Then move 3 down to 5. And 2 over to 3. That will finish level 15, and we'll move on to level 16. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Move 4 left to 3 and wait for them to settle. Then move 3 right to 4 and wait for them to settle. Move 2 left to 1. Then 1 back to 2. Then move 4 left to 3. And once they're settled, move 3 back to 4. That'll solve level 16, and we'll move on to 17. Again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to move 4 left to 3. Move 2 left to 1. Move 3 up to 1. Move 4 up to 2. Move 1 right to 2. And then 2 left to 1. That solves level 17, and we'll move on to level 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to move 5 left to 4, 4 left to 3, 1 right to 2, 2 down to 4, 4 right to 5, 4 up to 2, and 2 down to 4. That solves level 18, and we're going to move on to level 19, which does have a segment where you need to be quick, but there's only 3 moves here, so you're going to get this rather easily, and if you do have to restart again, it's only 3 moves. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are actually 2 separate ways you can finish this with this solution. So move 4 up to 2, and then we're going to have to be quick with the next 2 steps. So we're going to move 1 down to 3 and 3 right to 4. So 1 to 3, 3 to 4. If you do it too slowly, the hearts can't meet. But if you do it really fast, you can have the hearts meet in a different spot than they do if you wait like a second. It's a little weird, but there are 2 different ways you can have the level finish there. But just don't take too long, and you shouldn't have any problems. That finishes level 20. Or 19, excuse me, and we move on to level 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to move 2 left to 1, 1 down to 4, 6 left to 5, 5 up to 4, 4 up to 1, 6 left to 5, 5 up to 4, 1 right to 2, 2 left to 1, 4 down to 5, and 5 right to 6, 3 right to 4, and 4 down to 5, 1 down to 4, 4 left to 3, 6 left to 5, 5 up to 4, and 4 up to 1, 1 right to 2, 6 left to 5, 5 up to 4, 4 up to 1, 1 right to 2, and then 4 up to 1. That solves level 20, and we'll move on to 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to move 2 down to 6, 7 up to 3, 7 right to 8, 4 left to 3, 1 right to 2, 2 right to 3, 3 down to 7, 4 left to 3, 3 left to 2, 2 left to 1, 2 right to 3, and 3 down to 7, 7 left to 6, 6 left to 5, 6 up to 2, and 2 left to 1, 8 left to 7, 6 up to 2, 2 right to 3, 6 right to 7, 3 left to 2, 2 left to 1, 2 right to 3, 6 up to 2, 3 down to 7, and then 7 left to 6. That'll solve level 21, and we'll move on to 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Move 4 up to 2. 2 left, or 2 down to 4, excuse me. 4 down to 5. 4 up to 2. 2 right to 3. 5 up to 4. 5 up to 4. And 4 up to 2. 2 left to 1. 4 up to 2. 3 left to 2. And 2 left to 1. 3 left to 2. 2 down to 4. 4 up to 2. And 2 right to 3. 2 left to 1. 2 down to 4. 2 left to 1. And 2 down to 4. 2 left to 1. And then 1 right to 2. That'll solve level 22, and we'll move on to 23. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Move 1 right to 2. Move 1 down to 3. Wait for the pink heart or red heart to settle. Move 3 right to 4. Then move 3 up to 1. Move 1 right to 2. Move 4 left to 3. Move 4 up to 2. And move 2 back down to 4. That'll solve level 23, and we'll move on to 24. Okay, so for level 24, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to move 3 up to 1, 3 right to 4, 4 up to 2, and 4 left to 3. Now move 2 left to 1, 1 down to 3, 4 up to 2, and 4 left to 3. Move 3 up to 1, move 4 left to 3, move 1 down to 3, and move 4 left to 3. The next two moves have to be relatively quick. We're going to move 3 right to 4 and 4 up to 2. They should stick right on these spots, and then you'll move 2 left to 1, wait for the hearts to settle, and then move 1 back to 2, and that'll solve level 24. We'll move on to 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move 2 right to 3. Move 2 down to 5. Move 6 up to 3. Move 5 left to 4. And then move 4 up to 1. That solves level 25, and we'll move on to 26. Lots of squares, only 4 moves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to move 12 left to 11, 11 up to 7, 1 down to 5, wait for the hearts to settle, and then move 5 right to 6, and that'll solve level 26. On level 27, you need to be quick right away before the hearts spawn in. It's not a long solution, it's only 4 moves, so if you do die, you can just restart. But maybe watch what I do before you click with me. So right away, we're going to move 3 down to 5 and 5 to 6. If you don't do that quickly, your blue heart will die on the spikes there. But once you have your blue heart up in the upper left-hand corner of 5, you can move 5 left to 4 and 4 up to 2, and that'll solve level 27. And we'll move on to 28, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to move 6 left to 5, 8 left to 7, 7 up to 6, and 1 down to 2. We'll move 6 up to 4, and then 4 back down to 6. 7 up to 6, and 6 up to 4. Move 4 left to 3. Move 5 right to 6. Move 6 up to 4. And then move 3 down to 5. Move 6 up to 4. Move 4 left to 3. And then move 3 right to 4. That'll solve level 28, and we'll move on to 29. 1, 2 up top, 3, 4, 5, 6 along the middle, and 7, 8 down below. Move 2 down to 5. Move 5 left to 4. Move 6 left to 5, and 5 down to 8. Move 6 left to 5, and 5 left to 4. Once they're settled, move 4 down to 7 and 7 right to 8. Then move 8 up to 5, wait for the heart to settle, and move 5 back down to 8. That'll solve level 29, and we'll move on to level 30. Okay, so for level 30, we have another unmovable red block. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to move 6 up to 3 and 3 right to 4. Once the heart is out of 4, move 4 back to 3 left, and then 3 back down to 6. Move 5 up to 2, 7 up to 5, 5 left to 4, and 4 left to 3. Then move 3 up to 1, 5 left to 4, 7 up to 5, and 5 up to 2. Then move 5 left to 4, and 4 right to 5. Then move 5 down to 7. Wait for the heart to settle. You're going to move 2 down to 5. Once it settles, move 5 left to 4, and 4 left to 3. Then move 3 down to 6, and wait for the hearts to settle, and then move 6 back up to 3, and that'll solve level 30. And we'll move on to 31. Looks complex, but it's actually fairly simple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 across the top, 6 and 7, then 8, 9, and 10 along the bottom. We're going to move 10 to the left, 9 to the left, 8 up to 7, and 7 left to 6. Wait for the hearts to settle, and then move 6 right to 7. Wait for the heart to settle, and move 8 up to 7, and 7 left to 6. Then move 8 up to 7. Now again, move 10 left to 9, 9 left to 8, 8 left to 7, or 8 up to 7, excuse me, and 7 left to 6, and wait for the heart to settle. Then move 6 over to 7 to the right. Move 7 down to 8. Move 10 left to 9, and 9 left to 8. Then 8 up to 7, and 9 left to 8. Once the heart settles, you're going to move 7 down to 8, 8 right to 9, and 9 right to 10, and that gets your blue square, or blue heart in the red square, and that's all we need to do. For the bottom, the top is very simple, so move 5 left to 4, 4 up to 3, 3 left to 2, wait for the heart to settle, and move 5 left to 4, and 4 up to 3, wait for the heart to settle, and then move 4 to the right to 5, and that will solve level 31, and we're on to level 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to move 5 left to 4, move 7 right to 8, move 8 up to 5, and 3 down to 6, move 6 left to 5, and 5 up to 2, move 6 left to 5, 2 right to 3, and then move 9 up to 6, and that'll solve level 32. We'll move on to level 33. The numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, then there's a red square, and 5, and then 6. So we're going to start by moving 5 up to 2, move 3 right to 4, and 1 down to 3. Then move 2 down to 5 once the heart settles. Move 1 down to 3, and 3 right to 4. Then move 3 up to 1, wait for the hearts to settle, move 1 back down to 3, wait for the hearts to settle, and you're going to move 4 down to 6, and that will solve the puzzle, getting you the level 33 achievement, and we'll move on to level 34. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to move 3 up to 1, wait for the heart to settle, and move 3 up to 1, wait for the heart to settle, move 5 up to 3, move and open all of the yellow blocks between the red square and block 3 here. Once you have them opened, move 3 up to 1 and wait for the heart to get on top of the lowered barricade, and then move 1 down to 3, and your red heart will go into the red square. Now open the 2 barricades here so that your heart gets on top of them. And we're going to move 4 up to 2, wait for the heart to settle. Move 4 up to 2, wait for the hearts to settle. Move 6 up to 4, and then 4 up to 2. Then move 6 up to 4, and 4 up to 2. Now we're going to open both sets of yellow barricades here and move 2 down to 4, and your hearts will meet and solve level 35. Or 34, excuse me. Now we're to level 35. Upper left block is unmovable red, so we have 1 in the upper right corner and 2 and 3. So move 1 down to 3, 3 left to 2, 3 up to 1, 2 right to 3. We're going to open the 2 yellow blocks or barricades on top of 3 here so that our heart gets on top of them. Now move 3 left to 2. And open the yellow blocks so that your heart can get into the red square. And click the bottom yellow block or barricade here. This should just open this one. You just need one of these yellow barricades down, but you don't want either of these to be down or else you'll die on the next step. So try to make sure you have it mimicked like I do there. Move 1 down to 3. And you'll see the blue heart went into our open barricade slot, and now swap 3 back up to 1 and open the yellow blocks to the right of red so that your 2 hearts can meet. Again, it's a little hit or miss as to whether the blocks open and close, but just get them open and closed enough at that point so that your hearts can meet each other. That solves level 35, and we'll move on to 36. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we are going to start by moving 3 up to 1. Then move 3 down to 6, and 6 left to 5. Then move 7 left to 6, and 6 down to 8. Move 5 right to 6. And once the hearts settle, move 6 right to 7, and 7 up to 4, and 4 left to 3. Now move 6 right to 7, and then move 7 left to 6, and 6 left to 5. Move 7 left to 6, and 6 left to 5. Move 2 down to 5. And once the hearts settle, move 8 up to 6, and 6 right to 7. Then move 4 left to 3, and 3 down to 6. And that'll solve level 36, and we'll move on to 37. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is a very simple one. So move 3 up to 1 to get the black heart out of the way. Then move 4 left to 3, and 3 left to 2. Then move 3 right to 4. Move 3 left to 2. And move 5 up to 3. That'll solve level 37, and we'll move on to 38, which is probably the most frustrating level in the game. So you can see we have all of these yellow blocks. We need to lower all of the barricades except for these 2. These 2 need to stay in place so that the pink heart stays up here. So we need to go through at the very start and lower as many of the barricades as we can. I recommend going from the left because it seems to lower them to the right. If you lower from the left, and once you have them all done, keep note of how I told you to slide blocks earlier to avoid raising and lowering the barricades, but take it slow here. Because having a barricade up where it should be down could cause you to have to restart the level. So we're going to start, and we're going to take this level very slow. So we're going to move 6 up to 3. We're going to move 1 down to 4. Move 1 right to 2. And again, after every move, make sure you don't have any of the barricades that popped up. And move 2 down to 5. If they do, you can feel free to drop them back down. Move 5 up to 2. And then 2 left to 1. Move 2 down to 5. And 4 up to 1. Now move 2 down to 5. 5 left to 4. 1 right to 2. And 4 right to 5. Move 5 right to 6. Then move 2 left to 1. Move 5 up to 2. And 2 right to 3. Move 3 left to 2. 2 down to 5. Now make sure these yellow blocks in the red square are all down now. This one popped up without me noticing, but once all the blocks should be down at this point, move 5 left to 4. Move 1 right to 2. and then move 2 left to 1. And your hearts will meet, and that will solve level 38. That one is frustrating because of the randomness of the barricades popping up. So don't, if something happens and you can't get through, I promise you my solution is correct. So maybe a barricade popped up on you or went down when it shouldn't have. So just restart and keep going at it. We'll move on to level 39, which is very long, requires about 50 or so moves, but it's not too complex actually. So 1 and 2 up top, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the middle, and 7 and 8 down at the bottom. We're going to swap 4 right to 5, then 4 up to 2, 4 right to 5, and 4 up to 2, 5 left to 4, 4 up to 2, 5 left to 4, and 4 left to 3. Then swap 2 down to 4, 4 left to 3, 4 up to 2, and 3 right to 4, 2 left to 1, 1 down to 3, 6 left to 5, and 5 left to 4, 3 up to 1, 1 down to 3, 3 up to 1, and 3 right to 4, 4 left to 3, 7 up to 5, 5 left to 4, and 4 up to 2. We're going to open the yellow barricade at the bottom of the pink square and then move 2 left to 1. This will allow the blue heart to get into the pink square, and then we're going to close the barricade so that it's trapped in there. Make sure that that remains closed so it doesn't pop out. Now move 1 down to 3. Move 2 left to 1. Move 3 right to 4. Move 8 up to 6. 6 left to 5. 5 left to 4. And 4 up to 2. Wait for the heart to settle, and then move 2 back down to 4. Now move 4 right to 5. Move 4 up to 2. Move 5 left to 4. And move 4 left to 3. Move 3 up to 1. 1 right to 2. 1 down to 3. And 3 right to 4. Move 4 right to 5. Move 3 right to 4. Move 4 right to 5. And move 4 left to 3. Move 5 left to 4. 4 up to 2. 2 left to 1. And 3 right to 4. Open the yellow block on top of the pink square, the barricade, excuse me. Now move 4 left to 3. That'll solve level 39, and we only have level 40 left, which isn't quite as long as 39 was. However, there are a lot of blocks. So we got 1, 2, 3 across the top. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. We're going to move 14 left into 13, 13 left into 12, 1 right to 2. Wait for the heart to settle, and then move 6 left to 5. Now move 12 up to 9. Move 5 right to 6, and 6 right to 7, and then move 7 down to 11. Do be aware of the barricades. Try to stick to the middle of the blocks when you're swapping them so you don't accidentally raise or lower a barricade. Move 10 up to 6 and open the yellow block in the bottom right of block 6. Now move 4 right to 5 and 5 right to 6. We're going to open the yellow block in the bottom left of the pink square so that your heart gets into it. Then you can close just that bottom left block so that the blue heart is trapped inside. Move 11 up to 7, 7 up to 3, and 3 left to 2. Then move 6 down to 10, and move 7 left to 6. Now we need to move or open the 3 barricades on the top of block 6 here. So these 2 there and that one. This may drop this one over in this block. Bring it back up. So it should just be these 3 that are lowered in this area here. Now move 10 right to 11. Move 10 up to 6. Move 10 down to 13. And open the yellow block in the upper left of 14 so that the heart goes into 14. Move 14 left to 13, 13 up to 10, 10 up to 6, and then 6 back down to 10. Open the yellow barricade in the right side of 10, and move 10 down to 13. Then move 13 up to 10, and 10 up to 6. And you can open the yellow block in the left side of block 7. Now move 7 left to 6, and 6 left to 5. Move 11 up to 7. Wait for the blocks to settle. Move 7 down to 11, and then move 11 back up to 7 and open the bottom left block. And you'll solve puzzle number 40. And there is your 2000G, folks. If you have any questions or comments for me, reach out to me and I'll do my best to answer them. But if not, I will see you guys next time.